areas where there are caves that have like really steep, like rock and mud embankments, and there are claw marks in these embankments showing that big ones and little ones were like climbing them successfully. Like they weren't like in there perishing. They were like living there and just, this is like their den. It was like, you know, pitch black down in here, right? We're in the dark zone. It's not like 5 miles deep, but it's in the dark. But they had no problem. So they probably had good night vision if they're living in caves that comfortably, and they had to be excellent climbers. And they know it was these things because, like, with their weird paws, like those with their retractable claws, plus that great big gnarly raptor like blade on their thumbs, like there was no mistaking it. There was nothing else it could have been. So these things were really good climbers, and yeah, they were hyper carnivores. So again, it's incredibly rare that a creature like with herbivore ancestors becomes a hyper carnivore, like that eats only meat. Like we're not talking omnivore where it's like, yeah, it eats a little grass, it eats a little, you know, a few berries, and occasionally it might munch on something that's alive. Like no, like this thing was like meat, right? So they were ferocious.
Isn't that how felines are, right? They can only eat carrion. If they don't eat enough meat, then it causes blindness and health issues for them, correct?
Yes, they're obligate carnivores. Like felines, if they don't get taurine, like they go blind and then eventually perish. Like you
Wow.
cannot have a vegan cat. Like absolutely not. They have like their bodies cannot make everything they need without having meat. They're forced to be carnivores.
That's so creepy. And what we're talking about right now just reminds me as well. There is a movie, which keep in mind, it's a horror movie, but it's called Carnifex. It's actually about what you're talking about right now and how this marsupial is just so fast up in the trees, ambushes people. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and if we're talking about like a cryptid connection or like even folklore, you know, the like the Aboriginal people in Australia have an incredible oral history, right? Like stuff goes back weirdly really far. And it makes you wonder if some of the creatures in some of their tales are echoes of these things. 'Cause there are a lot of things that walked Australia, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 years ago with people that are not there anymore. And yeah, it was some real nightmare fuel.
In your opinion, do you think this thing could still be alive? Meaning, like when you look at the cave hyenas, the short-faced cave bears, the Dinopithecus, they only really went extinct supposedly around 10,000, 11,000 years ago. Same thing with like the woolly mammoths. In Australia, it's pretty remote, right? Again, assumptions aren't good. Probably kind of like Maine, where you got your clusters of people that are inhabiting an area, but then there's